All right, welcome everybody to Internet Mastery Phase 2 Lead Generation. My name is Mark Burstein, your host. Property Minder is the platform that we're working with. Property Minder has been in business for over 12 years, helping real estate agents be successful leveraging the internet. And my name is Mark Burstein. I'll be your host through this series of webinars. And I've been a real estate broker and agent for the past 8 years, and I've built my career and my business leveraging the Property Minder system. So I do know a little bit about how the system works and how are the best techniques and strategies that can be used to help you in your business. All right. So today we're going to be talking about lead generation. It's the second phase of Internet Mastery. Remember, the first phase was driving traffic to your website. This phase is all about, okay, now we got the traffic. Now, how do we generate leads from that traffic? How do we get those people to leave their contact information? And then there's phase 3, which will be next week. We're going to be talking about leveraging the follow-up campaigns and different ways and strategies for following up with our website visitors that leave their contact information behind. So, rules of engagement for today's webinar. They're the same as they have been for the past couple of weeks. Due to the large amount of attendees, we will not be able to have any kind of back and forth, unfortunately, on the webinar live. But I am very, very anxious and very, very, I lost my word, excited to hear from you and to be able to answer all of your questions and address your concerns with regarding this webinar or any other webinar that we've had. My personal email address is mark, M-A-R-K, @bursteingroup.com. Please email me any questions, concerns, or if you have any feedback. If you like the presentation, if you didn't like the presentation, if things make sense or if you're lost, whatever, I want to know about it. I would love it if you absolutely emailed me with your questions, concerns, and feedback. Or you can visit Property Minder on Facebook at facebook.com/Property Minder and ask questions there. And we'll be monitoring that and responding. So please, I encourage you, good news, bad news, connect with me. I look forward to it. All right. So the goals for this presentation is for you guys to get a greater understanding of internet technology and strategies for success. Now, this isn't necessarily a sales presentation, because all of you should already be clients. So the purpose of the Internet Mastery is just to show you guys the capabilities, some of the features and benefits of your Acceleragent website and some strategies that I've used in my business that hopefully can help you in yours. So the 3 phases of Internet Mastery again: driving traffic, generating leads, and following up. So today we're in the 3rd session here on generating leads and how to leverage the lead capture in your Acceleragent website. So today we're going to talk about lead capture. We're going to talk about where the magic happens. What are the different aspects or different sections of your website that capture leads? Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about strategy, how to leverage those tools to actually get people to leave their contact information. And then we're going to go over a brief thing about checking your statistics. Because, I have agents that call or they've used the system and say, hey, well, I'm not getting any leads. Well, how do you know where the problems are in your system if you don't know where to look for them? And the best place to start your search in evaluating the effectiveness of your strategy is to check your statistics. To go onto your website, you can see exactly if you're getting traffic, where the traffic's going, what pages they're looking at on your site, so you can evaluate and determine, well, am I doing something right or am I doing something wrong, and what do I need to do to change my results? Okay? So without further ado, let's get going here. Where the magic happens. Well, obviously, if you first engage your website as a new website visitor, whether they come wherever they come from, whether it's someone that was referred to you from a friend and they referred them to go to your website to find out information about you, or if you're driving traffic through pay-per-click or Craigslist or whatnot, anytime someone engages the front page of your website, the first thing that comes up is this little happy box. Now you can turn it off if you don't like it, but if you have it on, this is the first thing that'll come up, and it's the first layer of lead capture. Right, real quick, give an introduction. What are we doing? Why are you leaving your contact information? Give them some assurances that their information is safe, that you're not going to spam them, and have them click OK. We'll go into the technicalities of this a little bit later, but that's the first layer of where leads are generated. Now, the second layer happens within the website when people are engaging different aspects of your site. Now, one of our newest features that we just turned on maybe about a month or so ago is lead capture through MLS searches. Now, there's a variety, and we'll go through this in a second here, of other ways that we were capturing leads through MLS searches. But with our new tool, you have the ability in your toolkit to allow people to do some searching for properties on your website without having to register. And then after a certain amount of attempts, then the system will prompt them to register. So this is something new. So basically, if I'm sitting here clicking on my website, I see the property details the first time. The second time I click, this little box comes up, and it asks for people to register. So remember, MLS searches, or the MLS listings, or property listings in general, is the number one reason people are online looking at real estate related information. So we definitely want to be able to have plenty of lead capture within our MLS searches. Also, when people are engaging and looking at property details, there's a few ways that we capture their information as well. So remember, you're the number one point of reference for all listings that are viewed on your website, whether they're your listings or not. This condominium is not my listing, but I am the number one contact point for someone who's looking at this condo on my website. Okay, so if there's a question, my phone number is prevalent. It's at the top. Now, if someone likes this property and wants to schedule an appointment, they click the Schedule an Appointment button. A lead capture box comes up. If they want more information about the property, they click the button, another lead capture box comes up. If they want to find out more properties similar to this one, the Comparable Properties tool comes up, which also has a lead capture mechanism built into it as well. So there's a variety of ways that the site's going to capture leads just by getting people there with the MLS listings. Okay, and then one of our newest features for capturing leads is the SmartZip score. Again, this is something you don't have to incorporate in your website if you don't want to, but basically what SmartZip does is they provide analytics on properties, and they score properties based on their appreciation potential. So if someone looks at a property listing on my website, they click on the SmartZip score, and then another lead capture box comes up. And we'll get into SmartZip in another time, but it's just another way, another excuse for us to extract contact information from the people that are visiting our websites. Some of the other built-in tools is our home evaluation request. If someone comes in and they want to know what their house is worth, or they click a home evaluation, also it has a lead capture page, allows them to input their information about their home. You can get back to them with a CMA. This is probably one of my favorite things to respond to because I like property listings. Home evaluations are great requests to receive. All right. Also, we have a variety of free reports that come standard with your Property Minder website. So we can leverage these reports as a lead capture if someone's buying or selling and they want some more information about the process. Those are available. And then we also have custom forms. So within your Realtor Toolkit on your website editor, there's a link called Buttons, and you have the ability to create custom lead capture forms for whatever program or whatever situation you are working with in your personal business. So when someone clicks on Create a Lead Capture Form, you can create your own page on your website, request the specific fields you want your visitors to enter, input their information, and capture the lead. So what this works for is something like a guaranteed program. If you have a guaranteed sold program, you can put that together using a custom lead capture form, whereby you input the information, you get your title of the page, you have some copy to entice people to leave their contact information. You have control over what fields are requested for input here, whether you want names. If you want to mandate a phone number, you can. Okay, And the system then, after someone fills in the information, you get a delivery page. This one's very simple. Obviously, you want to be much more in depth with yours, but just wanted to give you an example of what's possible. And then an auto reply email is sent. And basically, really, at any time the system captures someone's contact information, it's going to send them an email on your behalf. So you want to make sure that you engage people when they do leave their information. They want to be touched pretty quickly. So just, you got the email out there and then follow up with them later. Now, as far as lead generation goes, there's always a spectrum here of lead quality versus lead quantity. Okay, and what are we looking for? Are we looking for a high number of leads that we then have to follow up with over time? Or are we looking for people that want to take action today? And a lot of that's going to depend on what your strategy is as far as enticing them to leave their contact information behind. Okay, just an example, just to kind of put things in perspective a little bit. I know those 800 call request number, auto response numbers were a big hit in our industry for a couple of years ago, where you place an ad in the paper, and every house has an 800 number with a pin assigned, right? And if someone wants to know about that property or the price, they call the 800 number. Now, that was a great lead generator for lead quantity, because a bunch of people, they wanted to know the price of the property. They'd call in, 800 number, non-threatening. They get a recorded message, non-threatening, no problem. They found out their information. They're on their merry way. You, as the agent, would then get the lead, right? You'd get their phone number because it's an 800 number, would automatically capture. And then you'd call to follow up. That's where the fun begins, because the quality of those leads is not necessarily all that high. In fact, they may not even know you captured their number. So when you call them, they're like, "What? Who are you? And why are you calling me?" So in that scenario, there's quite a big hurdle for you to get over and get through before you can then convert that prospect into a potential client. So something you want to think about in your strategy is, well, do I want a high number of leads, or do I want my leads to be maybe a little less on the amount of leads, but I want a higher quality? Okay. So, and this can be in two different contexts too. Completeness of information as well, as far as lead quality goes. Do we get their email? Do we get their name? Do we get their phone number? Okay. I know that, and their willingness to engage. So, you have the control of what to ask for if you want to mandate that phone number, if you will. And I would recommend that if you want a higher quality of lead, that you do ask for that phone number, because people that are willing to leave that phone number probably want to be contacted and would almost assume that you will be contacting them. Conversely, right, if you're asking for phone numbers, you may get a lot of phony ones if people aren't ready. So you just got to be willing to do a little bit of sifting. Okay, and then there's always ways to generate additional information down the road, so that if people do give you their email address, so you get a higher, if you're only asking for an email address, you get a higher quantity of lead, and then you can, with your follow-up campaign, we'll talk about more of that in depth next week, with your follow-up campaign, then entice them to engage more with your website, and then eventually leave their phone number or call you for appointments. Okay, so we'll get more into that next week. But something to think about, lead quality versus lead quantity. Now, everything kind of works together, right, in this internet mastery. So you're driving traffic, you're capturing the lead, and then you're following up. So when you're developing your lead capture strategy, it's very important you understand where this traffic is coming from. Okay, so are you driving traffic to the front of your website, or are you driving traffic straight into your listings page, or do you have a special offer like a free home inspection, or a special offer like a cup of coffee, whatever? You want to drive traffic specifically to the specific page that you're looking at.